Alright, cool. So welcome to Miami.
Thanks.
When did you get in?
I got in on Tuesday.
Okay. And what have you been up to so far?
A lot of pool parties, obviously. But it's also like a good place to actually meet people. Right. And I mean, you've been emailing or tweeting with those guys, and now you actually see them in person. That's great. And further than that, yeah, just it's all about new music, obviously. So it's cool.
Is there a lot of opportunity for collaboration here because you're with everyone? Everyone's down here, and no one's really working on new stuff.
Yeah, well, last night I did a writers camp, which is really interesting. So I collaborated with a bunch of vocalists, and we actually made a new song. So that's awesome.
Okay, now you actually do a bit of cooking in your spare time. I hear you're quite the chef. Yeah. So what restaurants are you kind of digging down in Miami? Do you have any favorites?
While I'm in Miami, I always like the sushi places here, and yeah, I'm really Italian food kind of guy. So there are a bunch of good restaurants.
And are you going to be premiering any new music, or have you premiered any new music this week yet? Or
yes, of course. Well, I have a new collaboration with Hardwell that is going to premiere at Ultra. We didn't play it. We just want to, the premiere is at Ultra, of course. And I'm going to play a few songs here, serious. Yeah, there's so much new music coming up. I have a new solo track that will be released next month. I just released a track with Lucky Date and Harrison called Mayday.
Great job.
Yeah, it's doing really good. Yeah, I'm really excited.
And so you mentioned Hardwell. You've obviously worked very closely with him at the start of your career. Are you guys still work closely? Do you still kind of give each other feedback? Do you still?
Always. It's the same thing. I know him for 10 years, and from the start on, I mean, we just clicked. And he always sends me everything. I send him everything, and it's just we're really honest. So whenever he makes something I don't like it, I'm just gonna tell him, and I think that's really something that I'm really proud of, to have him as a best friend,
Yeah, for sure. And so yeah, speaking of Hardwell, you've been on Revealed for a long time. Obviously that's great, but would you ever consider starting your own label like Jordy has? Or?
Yeah, we are. I think that's kind of the next step for me right now, to come up with my own label. And what I'm doing right now is the Dannic Selection EP on Revealed, of course, where I release tracks that really fit my sound. That's kind of maybe the pre-label thing. And we're planning on releasing the new label in like the end of the year.
What's it going to be called?
Can't tell you yet.
Okay. How about a debut album? Would that be coming on the new label, or?
I don't feel like my career is at the point where I'm releasing an album. I'm just focusing on putting out original tracks, building that, and maybe see in the future what happens.
And you were actually a marketing manager before you became a DJ, so I'm wondering what kind of made you take that step to quit your full-time job and just go full-time into music? What kind of sparked that? Was it a certain moment, or did Robert convince you, or?
Well, Robert was definitely one of the guys that told me, like, Dan, you have so much talent. And I was producing on the side in the weekends, I was playing in the weekends, and he's like, dude, you have so much talent, you should just quit your job and focus on it. And I'm like, that's a big risk. So I spoke to my parents, and my parents convinced me, like, if this is something you want, we have your back for the next year financially, so whatever happens, you can always go back to your full-time job. Just go for it, because back in the days we didn't have the opportunity to follow our dreams, our passions, so go for it. So my parents, definitely big inspiration and big supporters.
Cool. And just before we wrap up, so a lot of people are saying EDM's moving away from the big room sound, from the big main stage sound, and things like tropical house, melodic dubstep, future house. That's kind of getting more popular. Are you worried that big room might be extinct one day and you'll have to switch up your sound, or you think it'll always have a place?
Never. It's music. Music is evolving all the time. Now it's like the Kaigo is really popular. Great guy. Of course, Oliver Heldens' Future House is getting there. It's just the movement. It's always evolving. But I'll always stick to my sound, which is obviously it's big room, but it's still groovy. It's still danceable. I don't feel like. I mean, we have to watch for Ultra right now. I think what happens at Ultra is kind of setting the.
It always does.
The standard for what's gonna happen next year. But I feel like people in general are still gonna party and rave to high energy music, and it doesn't matter if it's EDM or
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time.